Welcome back to DC-Cember, as me and my guests, Velvetjoker and Patrick Palen, continue through the top 12 DCEU movies.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
At number 6, we have reached the film Zack Snyder has been building up since Dawn of Justice. However, due to some circumstances, he had to leave the project, where eventually Joss Whedon took over and changed a few things. Luckily, in 2021, we finally got to see Zack Snyder's vision of the Justice League. Probably the longest movie DC has ever or will ever make.
I did not recently rewatch the 4-hour one. I watched the 2-hour one. I did not have 4 extra hours to watch that movie again.
My wife was in the 3rd trimester of her pregnancy, and I knew she was ready to have the baby when she texted me, "Yeah, so I'm watching the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League." And I was like, holy crap.
I do remember it making it a lot more of a cohesive movie. I remember it took elements of the first Justice League movie that seemed choppy, and it was like, oh, well, why did they jump from that to that? And then watching the 4-hour cut explained it so much better.
Yeah, it's just because when Joss Whedon took over, he had to cut out a lot of character growth, especially for Cyborg and Flash, because I would say in this version, they're the MVPs of this movie. I feel like it was just great to see everything come together, where Barry's not saying silly one-liners. He's a little bit more serious, and we get to see a little bit more of his scientific knowledge. And even seeing Cyborg's backstory, because I say in Whedon's cut, we don't see anything about like what happened to Victor before his accident or anything. But luckily, Snyder managed to flesh out everything with the football, getting injured, and using the mother box technology to repair and sort of revive him.
If you were there, Mom would still be alive.
I did enjoy this movie more than I think I expected I would at first when I saw what a long runtime it had. Maybe just by the fact that they really took their time to the max to tell the story that they were trying to tell in this one. I felt like there was a lot of respect given to the script. Like we were just saying, Batman v Superman had a really dense story they were trying to tell. That movie could have been even longer than it was, right? So with this one, it felt like it was nice to see them take the time they needed.
I guess you could say it's a give and take. Like, would you rather have to sit through 5 separate movies to understand the plot of a bigger movie, or just have it all in one?
Did the Snyder cut even come out? It did come out in the theater, right?
I don't think it did. It was just only on Max.
I couldn't imagine seeing that in the theater. I'd miss so much of it in the bathroom. 4 hours is just too much time. I think even when I saw it at home, I think I watched it in like 2 days. I think I watched it half and half.
That's what's funny, is that what made it to make it full 4 hours was there was a little, I guess you could say, post-credit scene where we get to see more of the nightmare world, where we see Batman, Jared Leto Joker again, with Cyborg, Flash, Mira, and Deathstroke leading the resistance against Darkseid's forces. And apparently that's also, I think, where Superman is either being mind-controlled or fully a servant of Darkseid.
I feel like we're going to look back someday, if not already, at the wild swings they took with these live-action DC films. To be able to see these nightmare sequences in live action was kind of cool. Is it the most cohesive story? Or the shortest one? Maybe not. But kind of cool to see something a bit different, especially like when you have like the Dark Knight trilogy before that, and everyone was like, this is what superhero films should look like. They really swung for the fence on this one.
I'm a child of the 70s, and so I'm a little older than both you guys. And to go from like Super Friends and seeing the reruns of the cartoons that came out in the 60s, to now see them to be able to flesh it out in live action and the technology. So even the bad movies have such enjoyment for me. I'll be watching these again and again and again. Like every night when I go to sleep, like I put on like Ultimate Spider-Man or X-Men the Animated Series, and I fall asleep to that stuff every night, and I just love it. I'll never stop loving it, so.
I totally agree, yeah, because I do appreciate what Zack Snyder was trying to achieve, and I like that the story is fleshed out. I just think it was just too much to tackle on, especially that we'll never get to see what Snyder had in mind for with Batman and Deathstroke, just because at the very end, It seems that Deathstroke has a grudge against Batman, and Luthor basically told him Batman's Bruce Wayne.
I'm trying to remember the actor's name. Was it something DiMaggio?
Yep. No, it's Joe Manganiello.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because he had the sickest Deathstroke look.
And for what I remember about that actor, he's kind of like Henry Cavill, where he's kind of a geek like us, and he loves this kind of stuff. So I was a little bit sad for him as an actor when he wasn't able to be kept on board for future projects as that character.
Yeah, it was a shame, though. I heard they do have some plans for Slade. Not sure if it's the same actor, but we'll see. And of course, I'd say the music, it blew my mind out of the water, especially when we got to see Superman come back, even though his return pretty much made the ending of Dawn of Justice really meaningless.
Yeah, but they couldn't keep Superman dead. I mean, he's the lead of the franchise, so.
But then to be devil's advocate, that's when I would say like, well, they shouldn't have killed him in the first place. They should have thought twice. But I agree, though. A Justice League movie without Superman, that'd be a bit much.
I'm just glad they really did a better job with Steppenwolf for his design, his motives, really just fleshed out as to like why he's trying to find the mother boxes. Ironic, given that he is Darkseid's uncle.
My lord. Steppenwolf.
And it's weird that they thought, we haven't seen Orion or Highfather or Granny Goodness.
You do see a silhouette of what looks to be Granny Goodness in, I think, near the end of the movie.
All right, it's been a minute, so I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I'm glad they did bring out Darkseid, because I feel like if you're interested in Steppenwolf, then you gotta bring in Darkseid. As much as I did enjoy that movie, I'm not watching the whole thing. Just there are certain parts of it, like with Cyborg and Flash, how in the end they basically saved the world with Flash turning back time, because that visual sequence, that was just stunning. And Victor basically hacking into the mother box and trying to basically make sure they're spread apart so that way the world's not terraformed.
A lot of people try to terraform the planet. In the pre-James Gunn, in the Snyderverse, I forget, that was actually the second attempt so quickly to terraform the entire planet.
Yeah, pretty much.
I forgot to touch on this when we first mentioned Batman v Superman, but I'm remembering him again now with Justice League. But Jeremy Irons as Alfred, I really liked him. I appreciate who we have now with Andy Serkis, but Jeremy Irons, I just thought he was a really cool Alfred, and every time he's on screen in any of these movies, I just felt like he brought a certain cool kind of edge. He's such a seasoned powerhouse of an actor,
Oh yeah, with his wits. I kind of like that he's actually more of a tech guy with some of the bad gadgets.
That was a really cool take.
Yeah, it's a bit different. Pretty somewhat inspired by the Earth 1 version of Alfred. At least from here, we have nowhere to go but up.
The time is now.
Thanks for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed the commentary, be sure to check out my guest podcast channels. Click the links in the description box to find out more details.